boys? Okay, I'm back. This is a wide view because it's hard for me to fit everything into the video. So this is my first wide view video. And we're going to unbox this. I already know what I'm going to unbox. So you could probably skip this if you wanted to where I actually unbox the figure. But maybe if you wanted to stay here and watch me unbox this box. Hopefully it doesn't show anything. But pretty much it's only 3 figures. But I didn't want to wait for an extra like couple of months for my other figures because there was a pretty big delay. I mean, a pretty big gap between the other figures. But I'll show you what I got in this very video. We got Sabo, baby. We got Okarun. To be honest, I haven't even seen the anime yet. But I was reading the manga, so that's why I haven't really been up on watching it. I saw the theatrical release when it came out, and then we have Port Gas D Ace. But I won't be opening up any of these two. I'll unbox these tomorrow on a Good Friday. So we'll do that. But for now, let's just open up this guy. Very simple. I've heard bad things about this line. So, but I don't know. It was specifically for the girl, Momo or whatever her name is. Yeah, let's get started on opening this. I really dig this anime. Any anime that kind of just involves like Ultraman and like Tokusatsu in general is a nice play in my book. But this is what we get. It doesn't have a whole lot of accessories. You're just getting the figure itself and, you know, the basic s.h.figuart extra faceplate sometimes for anime characters, and the hands. Always with the hands. I'm trying to collect a little bit more anime figures. Not trying to. They're just coming out, you know. s.h.figuart makes them, so I get them. So we're just going to pull out all of these. Oh, but yeah, I really dig this anime because of all like the Ultraman Tokusatsu stuff that they reference. So we have the head. It's been a while since I unboxed an s.h.figuart. Been quite a while. I think my first 2 figures so far, going into March, is 2 Gridman figures. Actually, no, one of them was s.h.figuart. One of them was Figma. The joints are pretty easy. This isn't really on anything, so this just flaps around. I mean, the joints are pretty solid. Not tight enough, but yeah. Little butterfly joint, a lot of movement. Initially I was like trying to stay away from anime figures because a lot of the anime figures for me were kind of boring for the most part because they were kind of plain. But you know, if it comes to the main character that has like a specific form and costume, then I'm definitely picking it up. All right. So what else do we get? We get, ooh, I like that they have a separate piece for this. This is kind of cool. Hands, fist, open, scrunch, whatever hand. Glasses, hand. We have the huge mouth. Yeah, I mean, it's alright. Doesn't look the greatest, honestly. Could be way better. I don't know what this is. This is like the side of the mouth. Oh, because you can have it in the side. Okay. Interesting. Paint isn't that great. I'm noticing a lot that a lot of these anime figures, usually the popular ones, don't have the greatest application. But they also might be like standard releases. I don't know. They're not that cheap either, so don't really know there. But now I have to figure out what or how I want to pose him. I think I want to put the glasses on and the big mouthpiece. And in order for me to do that, I will have to figure that out right here. So you can take off his bangs. And then from his bangs, I assume you just take off the faceplate. Or you just pop the head off, which makes it easier, I guess. I'm just prying his face out. Okay, so this is what it looks like. I don't really know how to put the head. Oh, is it this? He has an extra side piece with hair that has a hole. Oh, I see now. And that just goes in there. Okay, so we're gonna have to figure out a face. And I think, wait, what face did it come with? Wait, I think we're just gonna use this face. The default face. This is a little bit hard. I wasn't expecting. Also, not the greatest line. There's a bit decent amount of gap. But we didn't have to take these parts off, I don't believe. And then for glasses, I think you just plop them on. They just pretty much snug in under the hair part over the ears. And then for the mouth, that goes behind the ear. So the little gap, hole peg goes behind the ear. And that kind of just goes snug in the face. But yeah, there's a pretty big gap for the faceplate, which I don't love. That's kind of a bummer. And his faceplate fell off. Sweet. That's amazing. Still kind of pointy, but not as pointy as like Ichigo's hair. Yeah, the faceplate isn't doing so hot. I don't really know why. We'll just try a different faceplate. How about that? See if it's just the main faceplate that has such a big deal. No, it's not. I think it's the way the front curve is molded. It's just not that great of a mold, I believe. So we're having a little bit of issues having this stay on, which is a little bit of a bummer. yeah, the bangs don't even really hide the line. Not the greatest. Articulation wise, pretty standard. This cape part is pretty flimsy, and I'm not sure how I feel about it. There's not much control you can do. It kind of just sits there. So, how do you guys like this? You guys liking it? I think, yeah, I really dig this manga when I was reading when it was coming out. But I don't think I need to collect any of the girls. I was debating on collecting the grandma, but then a lot of people were saying they had issues with Momo, so maybe I won't pick it up. And it's also like it's nothing too crazy to not pick it up because it's literally just the girl. I think I could really just settle with like the Figma for those if I needed to. But you know, as a main character, a shonen main character that's abilities, it's good to have an s.h.figuart. I think with all the movements wise, he's also very fast moving character, so having some versatile movements for his body would be great. So yeah, not bad of a figure. I think the biggest pullback with this figure is the faceplate. Just the seam line actually. It maybe some paint applications could have been a little bit nicer. But everything else seems pretty good. Nice airbrushing on the back. His cape. Yeah, he's a pretty simple looking design. A lot of it is pretty much towards his face. And they didn't really get that perfectly. They did include the pieces whatsoever, but this big ass gap is kind of daunting. Even from afar, you can kind of see it. So it's not great, but it's gonna live on my shelf. Nothing crazy, right? Still looks pretty decent. So yeah, this is pretty cool. I didn't pick up the shirt though at Uniqlo. I was kind of bummed. I had it in my car and all day, and I was like, I just totally forgot about hitting checkout. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about this anime. This s.h.figuart, I feel like most people like the anime, but s.h.figuart is a place where some people kind of have different expectations. Me, I don't have a crazy expectations when it comes to these figures. I know when it was like the One Piece Luffy figures, a lot of people had big gripes on like Luffy. But I was kind of fine. It did well for the price point that it was at. I don't know about Gear 5. Gear 5 was a little tricky, but after a while, everything turned out to be pretty well. So here's this figure, and